Hi Virgo, welcome to September. This is Teresa from Tarot by T. And before I start your reading, I want to call in some good energy. So this month we have a new moon in your sign, and it's trine Uranus, so it's going to be exciting. Then we have Mars moving into Libra on the 16th, and we have a full moon in Pisces, which is in your relationship sector, on the 20th. And Mercury goes retrograde, your ruling planet, at the end of the month on the 27th. So a lot's happening this month that really affects your sign more than any other because of the Mercury, because Mercury's your ruler. Anyway, so let's see what the cards say. Well, look what fell out, the World. Let's see what the cards say about love and relationships for Virgo for the month of September 2021. And we'll get into the astrology later. What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for September 2021? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships for September 2021? What does Virgo need to know about love and relationships, September 2021? Okay, let's see what we get. The Ace of Cups, the Knight of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Three of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Seven of Pentacles, the Temperance, the Two of Swords, the Emperor, and the Three of Cups. And the card on the bottom of the deck is the King of Cups. Okay, so well, definitely love is in the air. You have the Ace of Cups here with the Nine of Cups. The Ace of Cups is a love card. New beginning in love. It could be a new relationship. It could also be a new beginning in a current relationship. You're ready to take action. You've got this Knight of Swords energy. Now, this could be your energy or it could be someone else. But if it's your energy, you're anxious to move on. I'm also seeing the Eight of Cups. It's like you're looking for adventure. The only thing you have to be careful of with this Knight of Swords energy is that you're not being reckless, that you're giving it you're thinking about what you're doing and you're not just jumping into something just because you're bored or because you just feel like you have to take action, nothing's moving, you're stuck. So this card just warns about look before you leap. Because this energy is, the energy of the Knight of Swords is I want to do something. I don't care what happens. I just have to do something. Now, this could also represent a partner's energy. And if it does, you're dealing with someone who you think is a little bit argumentative, maybe a little bit selfish. Like they do things without thinking of the consequences and how their behavior affects others. So it could be, you could be having arguments in love. And I feel like the way this reading is looking, with the Eight of Cups here and the Three of Cups as an outcome, I feel like you're trying to make a decision about a third party. Like you're trying to choose between two people, some of you. Because the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that was once good, but it's no longer fulfilling, and you're wanting something that has more meaning. You want a connection that really feeds your soul more. Maybe the connection is either too superficial or too many arguments, or the person was too selfish. You don't feel like your needs are getting met, and maybe you're fighting over things. And you're looking like with the Eight of Cups. It's like I think I need to walk away. I think I need to leave this behind. Now, it doesn't have to be a third party, but it could, because the Eight of Cups can mean just walking away from a person that you're involved with, and then looking for someone new. But in some cases, it could be, a choice between, you have this new love coming in and it's much better. and you need to break free of what you're in now. Now you have this Three of Wands in the recent past. The Three of Wands is a card of, threes are cards of birth. The number 3 represents birth. It represents, you put your energies in the ground, you planted your seeds, and now they're starting to bloom. They're starting to come up. You're starting to see the results of everything that you've worked for. So the Three of Wands could mean some type of career success or some type of action in a new beginning. Like if you started something new with someone, things are starting to develop and you're starting to see like this has potential. And I'm also seeing this King of Cups energy. And the King of Cups energy is very different than the Knight of Swords energy. The Knight of Swords can be a little bit immature, argumentative, selfish, just focused on their own needs. The King of Cups is way different. The King of Cups is someone who's very kind and compassionate and loving. He may not always express his feelings. He keeps his feelings to himself, but he's someone he's like a healer in a sense. Sometimes he could be an actual counselor or work in the health professions, one of the health healing professions. But even if not, the King of Cups energy, and he or she, I don't go by that. I mean, it could apply to either sex, depending on what your situation is. The King of Cups, but the personality of the King of Cups is someone you can talk to. You can go to this person, and they hear you, and they offer soothing advice and soothing words, and they're very calm. So this could be something that someone that you might be connecting with. It could be a love interest. It could also be a counselor. Like if you're having problems in a relationship, maybe you need to talk to someone. Maybe it's a friend that you need to help sort things out for you. But coming up in the future, you have the Nine of Cups. That's a wish fulfillment card. And usually the way the Nine of Cups works out, it kind of helps fulfill your wish through the major arcana. So we'll get to those. You have 2 here going up the staff. Coming up in the very, very near future, you have the Seven of Pentacles. That's a card of also planting seeds and waiting to see what's going to develop. So if you have a new beginning this month, it's going to be very promising. And you're going to be thinking, this could really go somewhere. And maybe that's going to cause you to be kind of on the fence, like, what do I do? Do I leave do I leave one situation for another? Do I just jump into this thing? There's going to be questions. You have the Temperance card in your negative thinking sector. Now, the Temperance card is a card of finding the middle ground, balancing opposites. So you could be in a relationship where you're very different from the person, and you have to kind of meet each other halfway. You're very compatible, but you're also very different. And you have to kind of understand where this other person's coming from. Look at their side. So if you're in any kind of conflict situation, you want to just be able to, you might have to give up some things, meet the person, create some kind of win-win. You can't have it all your way. Because the Ace of Cups I'm getting 2 storylines here. So for some of you, it could mean there's conflict in a relationship, and through compromise and understanding of the person's position, you could achieve a new beginning in love. For others, it can mean a new relationship coming in, that you've walked away from someone in the past, something ended, and now you're looking for something new. You're looking for new love, and you're anxious to get started on a new life, in a new path. And so either way, the Temperance is about 2 people coming together that are well suited to each other, but they're also very different, and you have to take those differences in account when you relate to each other. And you may have to compromise. It's also a card about finding balance, like not going to extremes of emotion or extremes of behavior. And it's also a card of protection, because the Temperance relates to the Archangel Michael. So it's like you're receiving spiritual guidance to follow a path, but it's in your negative thinking sector, so you may not believe in that, or you might not trust it, or you're hearing, like you're getting some kind of intuitive feeling, but you're not sure if you could trust it. Listen to your inner voice. That's how the angels speak to us. through, when you take time out to meditate and you like ask a question when you pray or ask a question of the universe or God, and then you meditate, you get the answer. So if the universe or God is trying to communicate with you, don't push it away. Don't push your thoughts aside. If you follow that inner guidance. In your environment, you have the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is about being on the fence, trying to make a decision. So there could be someone in your life that you've had a falling out with and you're not talking. And each person is waiting for the other person to make a move. So if you're interested in someone, they might be interested too, but they're waiting. Like nobody wants to go out on a limb. Nobody wants to break the ice. So with the Two of Swords, somebody has to take the initiative. So if you want something to happen, you may have to just, reach out. This is also a card of like, I can't decide. I don't know what the future is going to bring, so I can't make a decision. I don't know. Like you want confirmation that whatever you're choosing to do is going to work out. And in the wish fulfillment sector, you have the Emperor. And the Emperor is a card of, like, you're really looking for someone that you can depend on. You might have been with someone in the past that wasn't reliable or didn't give you what you need, was immature, confrontational, whatever. You're wanting something solid and stable. You want to build a relationship that you can, with someone that you can trust, someone that you can depend on, someone who is reliable, basically. Because the Emperor is the executive. It's the CEO. It's the person who's very organized, very, says what they mean and means what they say. And you can count on this person. So if there's someone new coming into your life, I feel like this person's going to be really good for you, bring more stability to your life. But also the Emperor means you have to be the leader in your own life. You have to take charge. You have to create a plan, a strategic plan. So if you're not in a relationship, you may need to plan what you need to do to connect with more people, because you have the Three of Cups here as an outcome, and that's a card of social. It's a social card. It's a card of getting together with friends, getting out, to, going to a party or gathering. Sometimes it can mean a third-party situation, like you're trying to choose between two people. So some of you might be trying to choose between two situations, two people. Others may just need to get out because maybe you've been isolated too long, and if you're trying to find love, you need to get with friends, start to socialize a little bit, network. Because the Three of Cups can also represent support from friends, parties, celebration. And I feel like if you're looking for someone like this Emperor, someone solid and stable, you can have that. You've got the Nine of Cups. That's a wish fulfillment card. So if you're looking for love this month, it's on. You just have to make a decision. Decide what you want and go for it. If there's if it's a situation where somebody needs to break the ice, you be the one to break it. Because you're kind of almost, you have a lot of good, successful cards. And plus that World card that kind of flipped out at the beginning. The World means ending a cycle and getting ready to move to another level. So something is completing, something that's taken up a lot of your time and energy is coming to completion, and you're ready to move on. The World isn't a negative card. It's really a positive card because it means that you're finally finding your spot in the world. Everything's coming together for you. So if you're in a bad relationship, you're getting out of it, finding a better one. If you're in a bad job, you're ending it, you're finding something that speaks to you better. I feel like you're moving on to something that is going to bring you more joy in the future, more satisfaction, because you're not wasting your energy on something that hasn't been fulfilling. So, and plus there's a time card here. So you're going to have to make a decision within a month. And within 3 weeks in 3 weeks you could be getting out and celebrating. There could be some kind of party or celebration, maybe around the full moon. Things come to completion. But we'll look at the stars. Let's look at the astrology and see what's coming up. So Virgo, you have a new moon in your first house. And Mars is there. So this could be your energy then. Because Mars is like the card. It's the energy of, I want to take action. I want to do something. I want to get going on something. This new moon is trining Uranus in the 9th house. So the 9th house represents long-distance travel, higher education, teaching, learning, publishing, any type of communication project, spirituality. So some of you may feel like, I want to go on, I want to travel, I want to go on a trip, or I want to publish something, I want to teach something, I want to take some classes. And you might be thinking about that. And an opportunity to do that could come out of the blue, because the Uranus is like, that's your ticket to freedom. So what's going to give you more security is either getting into something, getting out of your comfort zone, moving to a new location, going back to school, finishing up an education, either teaching or learning, adopting a new path, spirituality. It's going to change you because you're going through some changes. With this new moon, you have an opportunity to create a new you, to have a new beginning in how the world sees you and how you're presenting yourself. Now, Venus is in your second house, so that's and Mercury. Venus is bringing in money, but it's squaring Pluto. So you could have some conflicts around money with either children or a creative project that you're trying to launch. Even a new romance. There could be some financial issues or power struggles around money, either with the children or a creative project I'm feeling. And Mercury, you could be trying it. Now Mercury is trining Jupiter. Let's see. No, not Venus is trining Jupiter. I'm sorry. Venus is trining Jupiter at this time. And Venus is in your second house and Jupiter's in your sixth house. So Jupiter brings opportunity wherever it goes. So if you're signing some type of contract or you're getting involved in something new through work, it could go very well. Like the money will be there. Or you might be moving into a new job that's paying you more. Now Venus square Pluto can be intense. If you're meeting somebody new, there could be some intense feelings. Like a lot of passion. So you want to be careful that you don't, if whoever's wielding the power, you don't want to don't use manipulation to get your way. Try to work things out by being transparent, because that's always a question with Pluto. Pluto is very powerful. Now it could also mean that there's this new relationship that comes in that transforms you in a powerful way. It affects you in a deep level, and it causes a lot of major change in the way you see yourself, in your self-esteem, the things that you value. But you want to watch the dark side of Pluto, which could be, jealousy, power, manipulation, control. That's what you want to be aware of and not get involved in that. Now, Mercury in your second house is trining Saturn in your eighth house. So that's again, Saturn in the eighth house, Saturn in the sixth house, I'm sorry, at 8 degrees. So Saturn in the sixth, you're working your butt off. When Saturn's in your sixth house, it's all work and no play. And this could also, the Temperance card could mean, find work-life balance. If you've been overworking and you're not giving yourself enough downtime to enjoy life, you could be getting burnt out. So you don't want to do that. But you may be signing a contract around this time that's going to involve a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. It can bring in money. I feel like more money's coming in, but also more responsibility and more work. So you want to know what your limits are. Don't take on too much. And if you're signing a contract right now, it's the beginning of the month. Try to sign anything at the beginning of the month, because we're at the end of the month. Mercury's going to go retrograde, and there could be some confusion around communication. You don't want to start anything new during a Mercury retrograde period if you can help it, because you might decide to change your mind later, and so you don't want to commit to something where you're stuck, and then later you realize, I don't think I want this anymore. So Mars is trying Pluto, which is great. It gives you energy to go. You're like full speed ahead. And Pluto in the fifth house, I think this all, like the Mars trine Pluto kind of offsets the Venus square, because Mars is a planet of action, taking action. And Pluto in the fifth, I'm telling you, if you're starting a new relationship, it's going to be hot and heavy. It can be really intense. So you just want to make sure you don't lose yourself in the relationship, but at the same time, you're really excited about it. Then we have Mars moving into Libra. And when Mars moves into Libra, It's going to be in your second house. So your finances, you might get some expenses may come in, but you're going to be more determined than ever to make more money. Because wherever Mars is, that's where your energy is. So Mars in the second, you're really going to work on, how can I increase my income? How can I get paid what I'm worth? I need to take action. I need to do something. Now, at this full moon in Pisces on the 20th, the moon is it's conjunct Neptune, and then it moves on to form the full moon, the opposition. And the moon is also opposing Mars. It's an out of sign opposition, but it's still there. So something is coming to completion around a relationship or a partnership, because it's the seventh house. It's in your seventh house, and it affects and the sun's in your first house. So there could be some ego battles. Your needs against your partner's needs. The moon Neptune in the seventh house, you want to make sure that you're seeing things clearly, that your partner isn't gaslighting you. Sometimes Neptune can bring confusion, deception. It can also make you think someone is wonderful when they're not. But at the full moon, you're going to see the truth, because the moon usually shines the light, a truth. Truths are going to come out. So you're going to know, you have a greater chance of seeing the truth. So if someone hasn't been honest with you, you might see it at that time. Just don't idealize anyone. Let them prove themselves to you. And especially if you have any issues around money, because Mars is there. You may be having some financial arguments with a partner. Saturn is in your sixth house. And now the good thing about this, Mars is trining Saturn. So and you have, it's part of a grand air trine. So whenever there's a trine, that's like really positive energy coming in. And I feel, and this air trine, it's Mars in the second, Saturn in the sixth, and the North Node in Gemini in the 10th. So there's something happening at this full moon that is going to bring you abundance in your career. I feel like it's a career thing, because it's hitting the 10th house and your 6th house, which is work, and plus the second house, which is money. So I feel like there should be some major accomplishment or major achievement around this full moon, where you might be putting something in place that's going to last a long time. It's going to be a lot of work, but it will also bring a lot of reward. So you might be getting on your true path. And in Gemini, that would be like communication project, or, sharing your story, storytelling, anything that has to do with speaking, communicating, maybe even marketing, technology, because that's all 10th house. And then you have Mercury in your 10th in your second house as well. Mercury is not part of the Grand Trine, but because it's in late degrees of Aquarius, but it's still there. So you're having a lot of money making ideas. So ideas are coming up. How can I make more money? Opportunity is hitting with the Grand Trine, Mars, Saturn. You're going to take action. You have Saturn in the sixth. That's employment. That's your day-to-day activities on the job. You might be given more responsibility or more recognition. Mercury is trining Jupiter. Jupiter's also in your sixth. So this is really great for work matters. Like I said, you might be signing some kind of contract. Now, I just want to let you know, you're really close to the Mercury retrograde, and it's already in its shadow. So not that you can't sign anything or commit to anything, but just check all the details, check the fine print, make sure whatever you're agreeing to, you know exactly what's being presented. Because there could be, especially with Neptune in your seventh house, you want to make sure that your partner, like that you're understanding what you're attaching to, what you're forming a partnership with, whether it's business or personal. Don't listen to what they say, listen to what they do. If it's a relationship, if it's a contract or a business proposition, take your contract to a lawyer, let him check it out, before you sign on the dotted line. Now, Venus is in your third house, and it's opposing Neptune in the ninth, Uranus in the ninth, That could bring unexpected developments around a communications project, around relationship with siblings, someone who's at a distance. It could bring love with someone who's totally, because Uranus brings surprises. And it's like it's freeing you. It's getting you out of your comfort zone. So there could be some creative project that comes up, because Venus rules creativity, love, and money. something could come out of the blue around this time. But because it's in opposition, there could be some tension, some power struggles around something that involves higher education, teaching, learning, publishing, travel. If you meet someone new, it could be someone from a different culture than you, a different belief system than you. You could have some issues around siblings suddenly come up. Maybe there's a money issue around siblings that you didn't see, and all of a sudden now you gotta, someone's coming to you for money, and you've got to what do I do? But I think for the most part, this grand trine looks good, and as long as you follow, now Mercury is squaring Pluto as well. Pluto's going to be the problem child this month because when Mercury squares Pluto, you could be dealing with someone who has a harsh communication style, and you want to watch your own communication style. So there could be a bully in the mix with everything that's going on. Don't be bullied by anybody. Don't be manipulated by anybody, or don't fall for anyone's power struggle, manipulation, wielding power, especially with words. Somebody might force you into something. You just want to stand up for yourself, stand up for what you believe in, and make people be transparent. Demand transparency. That's all I say. Before you sign the dotted line, demand transparency. Someone might bully you and say, do it my way or the highway, So those are the things you're going to have to negotiate this month. But on the whole, I think it's going to be positive. You have an opportunity for a new beginning, to move into a new, possibly a new love or new partnership, new creative project that can bring you a lot of joy and get recognition at the same time, because your 10th house is activated, your 6th house is activated, and your money house is activated. So more money could come in. Anyway, so that's my forecast this month, Virgo. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please leave a comment or click the like button. It helps promote the channel. Click on the subscribe button. And if you'd like a private reading, click on the link in the description box. It'll take you to my website, and we can get you on the schedule. In the meantime, if you're new, welcome. If you've been supporting this channel, thank you for your support. I wouldn't be here without you guys. So I really appreciate everyone watching and sharing and commenting. And I hope you have a wonderful September. Happy birthday. And I will talk to you again next month. Okay, bye now.